Okay, guys, we are live. We are back. Hit the like, hit the share, give us a sub, show us you care. I am live with Ivan at Ivan Jennings on Twitter. He's back. He's had a great summer. He's ready to rock. He's full of energy. Keith will be back next week, hopefully. I think he's away with work. But Ivan, how have you been?
I'm good, yeah. Nice summer off. Did a bit of traveling, did a bit of relaxing, and back at it. Yeah, delighted the football's back, and we're not doing too bad. Bit of a crazy summer.
I mean, it's crazy. And we're going to get into it. We're going to talk a bit about the Burnley game, maybe give our 11. Most of our players are fit, actually. Frimpong was training and Isak's training and stuff. I can't expect him to start, but he will be eased in, Isak'd in, as they say. But the transfer window, I mean, absolutely ridiculous stuff. No one ever would. I'm not even talking about net spends. We've done absolutely brilliant when you think about net spend. I think we spent less than bloody Arsenal when it's a net spend. But the players in, what do you think? I mean, Frimpong, Kerkez, Florian Wirtz, we broke the record on him. We break the record again. Bit of a saga though on Isak, and then Ekitike. I mean, it's unbelievable. Dreamland stuff.
It is dreamland stuff, but at the same time, like I think we were talking at the end of last season that even though we were doing so well, we needed 5 or 6 players in. Now, I didn't think we were going to get 5 or 6 players who could walk straight in and literally walk straight into the first team. Like starting with the 2 fullbacks, 2 top players. Wirtz, I think, he's just going to be incredible. And then when you see Ekitike land, and you kind of go, we're probably not going to go for Isak, and then Isak comes in, and it's like the transfer window from heaven. You know, Guinness don't do transfer windows, but holy shit, this was incredible.
Yeah, the Carlsberg did transfer windows. Yeah. I mean, Gay, don't get me wrong, Mark Gay would have been the cherry on top. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, and I think he'll come in like. Yeah, we'll definitely get him, I think, in the summer. So he'll probably do a pre-contract with us. I've heard we're not going to buy him at Christmas, which is fine.
Yeah, do you want him on free to give him a maximise and get him in free? You know, Kanate, to be fair, looks like he could be going to Madrid. I think he's going to do. Yeah. He's going to do a play. He's going to play his contract right down. Yeah. I think.
And in fairness, like Kanate, he had a great game at the weekend, or the last game against Arsenal, but he was actually mucked the first 2 games. He was shockingly bad.
Do you know what it is? Look, he's only still young. He's a French international, but there is a mistake in him.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, I'm not being, we look at Van Dijk beside him, and Van Dijk is a different level. He's one of the best, probably Premier League centre-halves in the Premier League's history. Let's be real here. Dutch captain, Liverpool captain. He has everything. He's won everything. There's a nonchalant thing about him. He isn't getting any younger, but I still expect a big season from Van Dijk. But if you're telling me Kanate, Van Dijk, I actually would have thought maybe Gay come in. Gay could have even took Kanate's place. I'm telling you.
I think so. Yeah, I think that was the plan. Like Kwanzaa went out. Joe Gomez is still there. I think the first 2 games, like the goals that we conceded against Bournemouth, particularly the second one, were so bad.
So bad.
Watch that
5-a-side, wasn't it?
It was 5-a-side stuff. It was where like you could make the challenge immediately coming out of the center circle. And then you have 3 or 4 chances to do it when he's running towards you, and nothing. And in fact, they looked like they were getting further away from the player. It was like, what is going on here? It was one of the worst goals I've seen us concede. It was so bad. And Kanate's just looked off, and you wonder, has his head been turned? And he's talking about Mbappe calling him all the time. Fuck off then if you want to go. Don't care. But like we can't lose him without having somebody coming in.
Doug's in the house. How are you, Doug? Hopefully you're well, bro. I'm going for 2-0 win on Sunday. I'll take 1-0. I'll take any win. Turf Moor's never an easy ground to go to. They'll be up for it, of course. We'll talk about the Burnley game, but I just want to get Ivan's take on the window, because I haven't talked to him. It's been a crazy window. It's been a dreamland window, as I said. I mean, Florian Wirtz, we've seen what he did for Bayer Leverkusen. I even seen him the other night against Northern Ireland. That won a free kick as well.
Incredible.
But but you know a bit about football. You do a bit of coaching and stuff. I mean, that control, that tight play. People are saying he's not physical enough for the Premier League. I think he's grown into it, Ivan. I think he's too intelligent, too good, good of a player.
He just needs a goal, and he'll definitely get a goal. Like you saw the free kick against Northern Ireland. His first touch is unbelievable. Like whether it's taking the ball down out of the air or that little thing that he does, it's kind of like a Thiago little turn. He reminds me of Thiago, just a little ball between his legs.
Yeah,
he's absolutely superb. And I think you've got, what do you call them? Big lads are not in and around him. there's physicality there as well that I think he's covered. We've got so many options with him there now. So Bosley obviously filling in at right full. He's available now midfield if Frimpong comes in. But yeah, there's just so many options now. So long overdue. How long have we been talking about this? You know.
Yeah. Look, do you know what it is? And I put an analogy in for this one. I mean, like, you know, we didn't do anything last year. We got Chiesa, but realistically, I mean, he's not even in our Champions League squad. And I like Chiesa. There's a bit of an Origi about him that he got the goal against Bournemouth and stuff, but he does give us all. He tries his best. He is an Italian international, remember?
He was the best player at the last European Championships.
Well, look, I just think he'll have his part to play, Ivan, and that's the reason we stuck.
And the other thing, on the point about Origi, I was at the Bournemouth game, right? And I've been to Anfield many times. I've never experienced an atmosphere when he scored. The crowd.
I put it to Titanic music on Twitter.
It was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
So they love him and they appreciate he hasn't had an easy run. He's had some injuries and he's been in and out. But that goal against Bournemouth, wow, unbelievable.
Do you know what? Now, most fans of a football team will forgive a player. He doesn't get much time, but doesn't moan in the background. There's no drama going on in the background. He's an Italian international. I'm sure he wants to get in the Italy squad for the World Cup next year, like everybody. But he's the type of, as I said, a bit like Origi, in the background, getting his wages, doing his training, comes on when he comes on. Why don't he come on 2 minutes in a game? You know what I mean? 10 minutes. It's hard to do anything in 10, 15 minutes. It really is.
Yeah.
But we've seen what he did against Bournemouth. I just think it's nice to have on the bench. 15 minutes. Him or young Rio.
That first game, there was so much emotion in that stadium. And, you know, like when we were 2-0 up, we're kind of thinking, kind of coasting here a little bit. And then I was sitting beside 2 Australian lads and they're like, this game's not over yet. This is going to be 2-2, and then we're gonna come back and get another one. And the whole of the stadium stayed. I didn't see one person leave that ground early. You know, I'm sure there was 1 or 2, but I didn't see any. And to see him celebrate, it was incredible. Great that we have him. He won't moan about
topsy-turvy. What?
Yeah, he won't moan about not being in the Champions League squad. You know,
that
that's
was the
fine.
Knee slide. I'll tell you that. That was the best knee slide I've ever seen in my life.
It's classic.
But
Absolutely brilliant.
Do you know what it is as well, though? The other thing I would say now, you can be a purist. I mean, the Newcastle game too. I mean, it was a 110-minute goal by young Rio. He was only 16. He was a week away with 17th birth. There's another one. You know what I mean? But I don't like when everyone loves a last-minute winner. Don't get me wrong. If you're going to watch along or you're at the bleeding ground and you get a last-minute winner, you basically won the game with the last kick of the ball because usually there's not enough time for the team to come back and it just kills them. It just kills them. You know what I mean? You basically won the game. But I don't want too many games. The heart wouldn't be able to take it. I mean, you know, you're 2-0 up cruising.
I totally agree with you. But I think
you won't get away with it forever.
You won't.
But you need a bit more control.
Yeah, these were different games. And I think with Newcastle, Newcastle didn't need a team talk. They just had a photograph of Isak up in the dressing room. So you take what you can. They didn't come to play football. Or they didn't play football. They were into kick us and they had the crowd behind it. So any kind of a win against them was brilliant. The Bournemouth game kind of slightly different. You know, we were still missing Gravenberch. We were, you know, McAllister wasn't fully at it. So I take that. But I think when we get everybody back, I hope we get, to your point, I hope we get that control back into the game where it's a little bit calmer. We get 1, we get 2, and then we close it out and we become a little bit boring like we did last year. And I'm fine with that if that's the way we go. But we've been missing. I think Gravenberch was a huge miss, and McAllister he hasn't had 90 minutes in him. So
no. What was your take? I didn't get your take on the Isak saga. I don't want to dwell on it too long because he's a Liverpool player now, but it just dragged on, didn't it? It dragged on and dragged on.
It went on way too long, and I think if he had the problems that he had, he could have pushed for the move a bit earlier. The bit that I don't like, and I think the bit that Liverpool fans won't like, is that he went on strike, and that just does that to me was just like, is that the kind of player? Like, he's a great player, don't get me wrong, but going on strike, regardless of what's going on, like the top players, like when Rooney talked about going to Man City, he still trained, you know, and that's how highly I would regard Rooney as a player. talking about not playing and, I'm not going to train, I'm not going to turn up. That leaves a bit of a taste in my mouth. Now, if he comes in, he scores 40 goals and we win the league and the Champions League, that's cool. But I just think Liverpool fans, they appreciate, authentic, hard-working players, and you knuckle down regardless. You'll get your move.
I think they appreciate honesty.
Yeah.
Honesty.
No, I think there's loads of stories going on about.
It's hard to get,
Yeah. There's lots of stories going around about what he was promised and who was coming in and what he was going to get and contract renewals and all that. No, so we'll never know. But regardless, I think you still get your head down, you still train, and you let your agent and the clubs do the work, and that's the only little thing that I have against them, really.
Yeah. There's Neil, my brother Neil's in. How are you, Neil? I hope you're well. Neil. Well, look, the thing about it is, look, Isak, I've seen the 2 games for Sweden. He didn't play in the first game. He was on the bench. And in the second game, he actually came on and looked very lively.
He got 20 minutes, yeah.
He got about 20 minutes in total, 21, 22. He's looked lively in training the last few days. I don't think there's any world where he starts on Sunday. So. I just think
no need.
You've spent so much money. He does have a nod niggle now and again. Yeah. I think, if anything, it's a 10, 15-minute cameo.
Yeah, I totally agree. And like you couldn't not start Ekitike. You couldn't not start
Gakpo and Salah.
So like Salah's been probably the least well performing of the strikers. But again, you can't leave Salah out because of what he could do. I just can't see any game where he starts on Sunday, and there's just no need to rush him back. Ease him back in, and then let him and Ekitike and Gakpo all fight for the left and the centre, and we'll see.
Well, do you know what it is as well, which is the thing. We have so many. I think it's 6 games in 17 days from Burnley on Sunday, and then of course Atletico Madrid midweek. That's never an easy game at Anfield on the Wednesday. Yeah. And you want to win your first home. You want to win all your home games in Champions League. We know that. Atletico first game. I would have liked an easier game, let's say, but
I think we're too strong. I don't think Atletico are the team they were the last couple of years, right?
No. So they'll always give you a game.
I'm not overly worried by them, but to your point, you need the squad. When United were flying, they had 4 strikers, and if you're winning games, it doesn't matter if somebody's not happy because you're winning games. So play, ease him in slowly. Ekitiki's playing well. He's scoring goals. I thought he was brilliant against Newcastle. No need to change it. No need to rush Anthony.
So the other question, I'm sure it's headaches for Slot, but this is what you want. This headaches you want. You want quality players in every position. Two players in every position. Szoboszlai, a fullback, has been brilliant. I mean, what do you do? I mean, you might play there against Burnley. Why would you change? And Bradley's back, and Frimpong is back.
I think Szoboszlai, like he was. I watched it with my son on Sunday, and like he was man of the match before he scored the free kick. He was absolutely.
He ran his arse off. Yeah.
He did everything that Trent would do. The only thing, I thought there was some really good analysis of from Jamie Carragher on the Monday Night Football, where he was pushing forward he was kind of going inside, where Trent would never go that far forward. So he'd look for the ball back from Salah, and because he was a little bit further back, there was that bit of cover. Because he was bombing on, there was a bit of space there, so there was a bit of a gap. But I just thought everything that he did defensively, getting forward, he played a 60-yard ball in the second half that was just unbelievable. And then the goal, you couldn't write it really, It was an absolute.
I mean, what was it, 32, 33 yards out, something like that?
An absolute
against a good goalkeeper. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And he hadn't been beaten, I don't think.
A big game. We didn't beat them last year, Ivan.
Yeah.
We two Desmond 2-2s against them,
Yeah. It was absolutely
2 bishops.
Yeah. I also think the others, the likes of Kerkez and Wirtz, the actual smaller players in the team defensively were brilliant. They had a lot of corners in the first half, and they were just getting in. You could see Wirtz was putting his arm around. He was stretching the rules and bending the rules as much as he could and putting Arsenal off, and they couldn't score. They actually didn't look like they were going to score.
No, not really. Well, I wouldn't say they parked the bus, but it's just the way they play. When they go away, they're hard to beat. I mean, there wasn't much in it, to be fair, Ivan. There wasn't much in that.
No, but I think
it could have easily been a draw.
It could have been a draw, and you probably would have taken the draw, but I definitely think when we came out in the second half, about 10 minutes in for about 20 minutes, we ramped it up. And we had a go, and we got the goal through the free kick. So I think we were definitely the more offensive team. I mean, we were actually playing football to score rather than playing it long and looking for throws and corners and stuff like that. And they came into it for the last maybe 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, but we deserved that win. We absolutely deserved that win. It was a great goal and a great performance.
It was a big psychological win because I said we didn't beat them last year. You would think they're going to be our closest.
Oh, yeah.
If anybody's going to put it this way, I think whoever finishes above Arsenal win or above Liverpool wins it.
Yeah,
so it's either Liverpool are winning or someone else finishes. I don't think Liverpool are outside the top two. So whoever finishes above them wins. You know what I mean?
I'd agree. Totally agree.
And I mean, you look at Chelsea with the charges today. I don't know what's going to happen there. You look at City, 2 losses out of 3. A lot of rumours about Pep going 115 charges, I think, in November or October. Who knows what's going to happen there? I think this is a good chance for Liverpool. If we can gel, if we can blend, you need a bit of luck. You need to be injury-free to top players. You do need a bit of luck in life and everything.
You'd be worried if we weren't bringing in top players. Like you would assume that because we've brought in the quality that we have, they will gel. So like they haven't gone cheap on anybody. They've gone for the best of the best, or as close to the best of the best you can get. So good players play well. It's fitting them in, finding the right system, and hopefully those who don't play are happy enough to stay in the bench and come in and make a difference when they're picked. But we couldn't be in a better place, points wise.
I just think the only thing that could scupper Liverpool is the likes of an injury to 2 or 3 key players, and even then we have fairly good backup. To be fair, unlike
the only risk we have
is you know what I mean.
We lack a bit of covered centre half, obviously with Gay not coming in, but everywhere else on the pitch, I think we're covered. So barring an injury to Van Dijk,
I think Van Dijk injury would be a big problem.
Yeah, massive,
big time. Let's hope we're not jinxing it. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But the game on Sunday, I think it's important after international break. Get back. It's not an easy ground turf. More Burnley, they haven't had a great. They've had, I think it's 1 win. They won a League Cup game. They got beaten. It's never an easy game down there. I think it'd be a tight game. I don't think there'd be more than 3-1 or 2-0 to Liverpool, something like that. But I'd take 1-0 now if you bloody said it to me. To be fair, it's all about the win. It's all about the 3 points. City play United on Sunday straight after it.
And you can see United getting the points against City.
Probably
just the way
they're playing. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
So what would you do? I mean, obviously you're going to go Alisson in goal, but what are you keeping Szoboszlai at fullback, or what are you doing?
Absolutely, 100%. You're not. He's not
going
to start.
11. Everyone's fit. Frimpong's back, and I presume everyone's match fit so far.
Szoboszlai starts, Kirkes starts, Kanate starts, Van Dijk starts, Gravenberch starts, McAllister starts.
You playing Wirtz in there?
Wirtz, Salah, and Gakpo and Ekitike. It's ticks itself.
And have Isak maybe last 15, 20 or whatever, something like that.
Yeah. They'll get lots of men behind the ball. It's going to be a tough game. Hopefully we don't need to bring on Isak. I hope Salah finds a bit of form because he's been off. His first touch has been really off. He hasn't been great.
Well, Salah. Salah's the type that could get a hat-trick on Sunday.
Oh, I wouldn't bet against him.
You know what I mean? He could turn up and get a banging 3 on Sunday against Burnley. He could easily do it.
Yeah, wouldn't bet against him.
I just wouldn't bet. I'd never bet against him. It just wouldn't happen. You know what I mean? He's that good.
Yeah,
and stick out in the house how you may. Hopefully you were all right. But look, as I say, I don't think it's going to be an easy game. We got to start well. Be at them. We have started slow in games. And I think that, it can cost you. I mean, if you go 1-0 down, you need 2 to win the bloody game,
Yeah.
And probably you force your hand with Isak, and you don't really want to.
You don't want to. No.
Bring him on at half time or something unless you have to. No. He could be. If we're losing 1-0 and there's half an hour to go, I can see a world where he comes on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I don't. I think we should win. I wouldn't say overly comfortable, but it'll be. I don't think we'll need to bring Isak on.
Well, no. Look, we mightn't even. He might just be on the bench, absorbing it all, getting the match day experience, and then Atletico, he might get some minutes. But I mean, he will be eased in. He will definitely be eased in. But as I say, it's all about getting the win on Sunday. That's all that matters to me. I'd like a few clean sheets. I love the clean sheet actually against Arsenal. I think that's very important. Really clean sheets are huge, because we've got the firepower to get goals in every game. I doubt you'd see many 0-0s with us, Ivan.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So we keep clean sheets. We're going to score.
I think to your point, though, I remember a couple of years ago, Keith was always talking about basketball. That's what we don't want. We want control of the game. We want
The Bournemouth game was a basketball game.
Yeah, 100%.
And that was the problem.
100%.
You know what I mean? You could say the Newcastle game was a bit of a basketball game. There was a lot of emotion in that game. There was some tackles and red cards.
That was crazy.
The crowd were up for
crazy. It was crazy.
You know, that was a crazy game. The Arsenal game was a bit more controlled. Arsenal were trying to control it, trying to impose themselves. Liverpool were poor in that first half, and I think Liverpool were there for taking that first half.
We were, but I just think the way the Arsenal play, you're not gonna win leagues by playing that way. You have to.
Let's keep playing that way.
Oh,
you know what I mean? But like for me, and I just thought we grew into the game second half, maybe with about half an hour to go. Yeah. If there was any team that were going to win, it was going to be Liverpool. You know, that type of way. So look, let's pick the right 11. Everyone's back. We're going to have a nice, decent bench, by the way, on Sunday because I think everyone's back. Absolutely everyone. Frimpong's back. Bradley's back. Yeah. All the guys that had the little niggles are all going to be either on the pitch or on the bench. Yeah. And you're going to need them because the games are coming thick and fast. We were even thrown in a home game against Southampton in the League Cup in 2 weeks.
Carabao Cup, yeah.
Carabao. And look, I don't know what he'll do with the likes of I think he will blood the likes of young Giovanni Leone, Superman. See the size of that boy?
Massive.
Do you see the size of that monster?
Yeah. And he's come a great. Like I think Newcastle went in for him, and we're going to pay more for him, so he wanted to come to us. But he's a monster. Whether great to give him a couple of games. You know, if he proves himself as potential cover, you know, maybe losing Van Dijk might not be, losing Konate might be such a big deal. You know.
No, I mean, like that's what I'm saying. The bench is going to be tasty. If Jones, who looks lively when he comes on, you're going to have him. Hendo's always filling in gaps. You'll have Frimpong. Frimpong, by the way, can play in Salah's position. You know that, don't you?
No, absolutely. Yeah. He can.
You know, you've got that as well. If he goes away at AFCON, which he is going to go in January, you've also got that. I'd like Wirtz to get a goal on Sunday. I really would. Just to open the account or even an assist. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree. The other thing, you mentioned Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones was absolutely brilliant against Newcastle. Yeah. Really good. Really good.
No, Curtis Jones has come on. You know what I mean? A lot of people were slagging him about 2 seasons ago. He wasn't good, wanted him out of here. I think he had a chance to go to Villa at one stage. But he's a really good... Look, he won't start many. I don't think in the best 11, if there's such a thing as the best 11, I don't think he gets in, Ivan.
Yeah.
With this current squad we have. Yeah. But he's certainly a 15, 16 player that you'll always have on the bench and probably always bring on with about half an hour to go.
Yeah, definitely. No, he's been good. He's a great squad player. So
I'm going to ask you for your prediction for Sunday. I'm going to go 2-0 to the Reds. Ekitike and Salah, 2-0. Look, clean sheet, win. It won't be easy. It won't be an easy 2-0, if you know what I mean. It might be something like 0-0 at halftime or 1-0 at halftime, and you're a late goal to seal it, and they're in it with maybe 15 minutes to go. But I just think it's very important we keep it tight first 10, 15.
I'm going to be brave and go for
just build from there.
3-0. And I think Salah might get 1 or 2.
Yeah. I'd like Salah just to, but I would like Wirtz just to. Do you know what would be nice, actually? A nice coast 4-0. Isak comes on, a 3-0 and gets a goal 4-0. That type of thing would be beautiful. But we're living in the real world.
You never know.
Look, we're good enough to do it. Look at the squad against Burnley, yes, but it's players on the pitch. It's turf more. It's not easy. The crowd will be up for it. We're the champions. Everyone wants
they'll be after it. Yeah, they'll defend like their lives are dependent on it because they're going to have a tough time staying up this season. So it's not going to be an easy game,
Well, guys, we're going to leave it there. It's our first time back now in a long, long time. Ivan Jens on Twitter, and of course Keith will be back hopefully next week. And you have the three amigos will be back. We're going to try and keep it in around this time on a Thursday because I think Thursday is a good day, especially if you're not in Europa League, because you've got the Champions League Tuesday, Wednesday games if you play, and you can talk about them and you can look forward to the weekend games. So I think Thursday's right the sweet spot to have a little 20-minute, half-hour chat. So, guys, I hope you liked it. Hit the like, hit the share, give the sub, show us you care. LFC are back. The Reds are back. Thanks, Ivan.
See ya.
Thanks, chat. Talk soon. Cheers, guys. You'll never walk alone.